Good afternoon. This is Dr. Rich Bernardo. I'm in my alchemy lab with my friend, the Alchemist, behind me. And you are a part of the Alchemy, the leadership simulation that I've authored. And we know it's a kind of a complicated place to be since you may not be used to being in simulations all that much. And so this website will be supportive of all your efforts to assure that you're going to get the most out of this and also make this part of make the thinking and the skills that you'll acquire part of who you are as a leader in all forms, not just particularly necessarily in the roles you play around your own lifetimes as such. This particular video is aimed at the Economist / Demographer. I need you to know that I sometimes split those two roles up, but for the purposes of brevity, I'll keep the two of them together. And you might find sometimes that the catalyst, that's the person who'll be helping you run the simulation, might have to make some executive decisions about dividing your role up. A couple of quick words about the role you're playing and the role that you're taking. Critical role in terms of the futuring premises we've talked about and we'll continue to talk about throughout the simulation. You're the one who's got his fingers or her fingers on the pulse of the economy, both the economic issues of the community that you serve, because you are on the World Out There team. And you have your fingers on the pulse of the local economy, that is to say, downtown Main Street, the state in which your district may be placed, or in the country, our own country for that matter, for the most part, and in a world that's been affected and will continue to be affected by events that we don't necessarily future for so well. And P.S. This video is being made in the fall of 2020, and as you know, we're right in the clutches of a terrible pandemic that has us careening from one idea to the next and trying to solve issues educationally, health-wise, certainly, and economically as well, among other things. You've read the ABC school district model. You have your arms around that. And what you need to do is to speak clearly about that. You're going to get some additional information for that in an additional website link that I won't go into today. But what I want you just to use this particular video for is just to really learn how to play the role and to take the role. There's a difference between role playing and role taking. Role playing is sort of knowing what it is you're supposed to do, given whatever you've been assigned to be, is one thing. Taking the role is a deeper premise. And while they overlap, taking the role is the one I care the most about to assure the success of the simulation, which would mean that you need to take the role of the economist, demographer. The World Out There team you have is counting on you for information, for data. The World Out There team and even the educational leadership team is going to look to you for pointing out the trends that were identified in the model and some of the ones that were kind of implied by Norman, the student's plight, that as well. You've got a growing school district. You have a division among the school district from, I guess you could say, the old timers and the new timers. You have a growing school district that's also seeing socioeconomic changes, which you're going to point out. You have a growing school district that's recognizing that there's a growing trend, talking about futures, of English language learners entering your district. And you also can see that socioeconomically, the district and the community are being buffeted by the economic trends that afflicted, many of which are out of their control, but with which they still have to contend. It's your job to play that piece out and to keep those ideas out in front of folks, particularly in the first two phases of the simulation. That would be the information gathering section, which you'll contribute mightily to. And there will also be in the phase one piece where you begin to squeeze down to what your true purposes are. You need to keep these premises before folks. And that's one piece of the role that you're playing / taking. And the other piece that you're taking / playing is the futurist. You are going to be the futurist for your World Out There team. Bear in mind, there will be a futurist in the other team as well. And sometimes I divide that role up among other folks as well, so everyone can learn some of those same skills. But you're going to learn some skills, and there'll be a video to help you understand that, as well as some links for you to follow, where you're going to train your colleagues how to think future. Not just, oh, I think this will happen, I guess that will happen. You're going to help them recognize that there are ways to, my word, forecast possible futures. There are ways to forecast more likely probable futures. And that's really where you need to take the most responsibility for. Now, most anything can possibly happen, but what probably will happen, will probably emerge. Again, think about the economic and health issues we're dealing with today. Those are the issues that you need to that you need to have accented within the skill sets that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to show you 3, and that will be in a different web link as such. So just remember now, there's 2 roles you play: to keep the information about economy and demographics out in front of the group, as well as how those impacts may have already played out. You can take that role and play that out as you see fit within the confines of the model. And your role, in certain senses, more importantly, although they certainly go together, and that would be for you to be the futurist. You are the futurist. You are the futurist. You're going to train them to do things they have never learned before. So you'll need the website. You'll need to use some links I'll also give you to be comfortable with using them. And certainly I'll be around in cyberspace if you need to have any questions connected to any of that. So we count on you to help this group think future. That's the bottom line.